I don't know why you gave me a lot of power to speak for a few minutes, but that was his choice. So, I don't know if you guys have realized, but in these past few parshas, the theme has been different dinim, different laws. You know, parsha to parsha, since the beginning, but mainly since Ray, we have been given all these different set of laws. For example, you know, Ray, the parsha opened up with bracha koah. God didn't give us all these brachas and koahs. So, alright, so what are they? But let's look at the psukim. But if you notice, like, one of the next few things there are, God starts talking about different laws. As in, he tells us, like, whatever avodah zarah is in the land that you're about to go in Eretz Israel, I want you to get rid of avodah zarah. Sorry, you're about to go into Eretz Israel, and I want you to remove all the avodah zarah in the land, so this way you won't worship it. Or, I also want you to keep in mind that I want you to give truma and maestros in the land. Or even, if there's a false navi in your land, get rid of him. You know, he doesn't deserve to be there, because I'm going to give my nevuos to some person, and he will tell it. But if you have a random person get up and tell false prophecies, get rid of him, because, you know, there's going to be a set person. But my point is, there are many laws in Parsha Shoftim. Sorry, Parsha Rei. Yet, you know, where the bracha and the kol is, God just said he was going to give us. And if you look in the following week's Parsha Shoftim, you know, God sets up, you know, our judicial system. You know, where we have a whole judge, you know, we set up how Edom is supposed to work, how the Beis is supposed to work, you know, just different laws, and what happens if someone kills somebody else. And then, you know, like, alright, we're ready for the next, what's next? And then God told us to set up 6 Ir Miklat, you know, throughout Eretz Yisrael and Chutz Aretz. Now, I'm like, alright, it's time to get the bracha and scholars, but where are they? But if you look in the following week's Parsha, in Ki Tetzei, you know, you'd think it's time, right? No. According to Sefer Chinuch, there are 74 mitzvos there, including mitzvahs aseh and mitzvahs los aseh. And that's a lot. So far, I don't know, we've probably have like a couple hundred. You know, we're just given a couple hundred of mitzvahs aseh and los aseh. And I don't know about you guys, me, I can't handle that. If someone came over to me and told me, like, if on the first day of yeshiva or of Tarim came over to me and gave me a whole book of rules, probably wouldn't read it. It's just a lot in one day. But over to the year, I probably would memorize all those rules. But my point is, Bnei Israel, you know, they're fresh out of the desert. They're a new nation. They're reborn. They have literally, they're fresh out of the desert, and they're like brand new. They're fresh out of the oven. You know, they just have nothing right now, and they're fresh and they're young. So if you can tell, you think, all right, let's go. Time for the brachas and the colors. But still, we get the tochos, we get rebukes. You know, think like we got all these laws, it's time. But no, you gotta give us tochos, rebukes, and how to make us a better person. And I want to focus in right now on the first pasuk. You know, we just had all these, you know, dinim and tochos, and you think it's really hard to handle. But God opens up this week's parsha and Ki Tevah with Vaya Ki Tevah ha'aretz, and I give you the land, Asher Hashem Elkecha, that Hashem gave us. He is now in this week's parsha in the beginning. Even though he gives tochos, he starts the parsha off with this pasuk, basically to promise us that we are going to get the land. God gave it to us. We're going to get it as inheritance. He promises he won't go back on his word. All right, now we're promised the land. This makes us feel a little better, you know. We're getting something out of this. We got all these laws. You know, it's hard to comprehend it, but now we're getting the land. So I feel a little better now, right? You know, there's something in it for me now. I mean, of course, the entire thing was in it for me, but it was just hard. Now we see, you know, I'm going to have a place to live. You know, there's going to be a future, and it's going to be good. And then if you look at the next pasuk, you think, all right, I'm getting land. And then it says, basically, just to summarize it up, I want you to give Bikurim, the first fruits of your land. I want you to bring to Yerushalayim for the Kohanim. Now, how about you? Sorry, I want you to bring the first fruits to the Kohanim. And Hashem's telling us we have to do this after we move. You know, move into the land. You know, settle in, set up your business, set up your farm, and then, you know, the first year, then you should bring up your fruits. Now, it sounds like a lot. And then, once you bring up your first fruits, that's not it. You know, I want you to say, the psukim, you know, keep a bunch of psukim to say, I want you to tell the Kohen these following 4 psukim. Right? I'm not going to say now, whatever, just for time, but say these psukim. And within those psukim, you know, the pasuk says 2 things that stood out to me. One was Arami Oved Avi and Yitzim Mitzrayim. Now, every Jew, you know, especially then, knows about Yitzim Mitzrayim. And especially now that the person who's even Bikurim has to say this to the Kohen Gadol, I would assume the Kohen Gadol is Kohen Gadol. He knows about Yitzim Mitzrayim. He knows about Arami Oved Avi. Why do I have to tell him? Why do I have to tell him this? You know, he's a guy, he went to Cheder, he went to Shiva Kota probably, you know, living in Yerushalayim. He should probably know the rules. But but we still are required to tell him. Now, why is that? Now, I want to take a look at those two things for a second. Those two stories. If you look at Aram Yovedavi, what happens? Yaakov is chased out of his house by his brother Esau and sent to Aram, Lavan's house. And while there, he's required to work for 14 years. But while he's working those 14 years, we know that he's Yerid Shemayim the entire way through. And when he leaves, he's rewarded with 4 wives, a bunch of children, and a ton of riches. And he came out successful. Fine. That's the story of Yaakov. Now let's look at the story of it's the story of Aram Yovedavi. Now what's the story incident of I don't want to say incident, but the story of Yetziat Mitzrayim. If you look at Yetziat Mitzrayim, Yosef was taken down in shackles with nothing except for the clothing on his back. Maybe not even, because the brothers took away his coat. And he went to Egypt with literally nothing, shackles. And they throw him in prison. And while in prison, throughout his years there, he moves up in the ranks. And he eventually becomes the prince of Egypt. And over time, his family moves in, they sprout there. I thought it was a good word to sprout, they get bigger. And they expand. And eventually they also, like Yaakov, do work in Egypt. And of course, it took a couple hundred years. But by the end of it, they were also Yerid Shemayim. They left Egypt with a ton of spoils, big nation. And we know that because the Psukim say Nasa V'Nishma. Now, to bring it back to where we are, in Devarim, the Jews are about to go into Egypt. They're about to go into Eretz Israel, Eretz Zavat Klav Devash, and they, as I said before, they just came out of the 40 years in the desert. They literally, as I said, are fresh out of the oven. They're going with basically, I don't want to say with nothing, but they're almost with nothing, and they have to start on their own. And when they get there, God says, "I'm going to give you land. You're all going to get your own land, and you're going to have to farm it. You're going to have to grow fruit. And those first fruits you get, you have to bring it to Israel." Now, one might wonder why. Hold on, I'm trying to find it here. There we go. One might wonder why do we have to bring those first fruits? Right when I'm settled in, all right, the first thing I'm doing, I'm bringing it. So the Sefer Chinuch gives an interesting interpretation of this. I said those 4 psukim. We are required to say 4 psukim to the Kohen when we give our Bikurim. And in it, I said Yetziat Mitzrayim and Aram Yovedavi. Now he explains why it's so important that I remember it, and especially in Yetziat Mitzrayim, because it's to know where we came from, to know that we started with nothing. All 3 incidents, we started with nothing, and we worked hard. We were Yerid Shemayim, and we got somewhere. We became successful. Now, by giving Bikurim is a way of remembering that it's from Hashem. That everything we do in life is from Hashem. So we give him Bikurim and we repeat this. And he says the more time we say something, the more time in life if you want to believe in something, we say it 100 times, right? So the more times we say Yetziat Mitzrayim, the more times we're going to think about it. The more times, it's going to be in our minds. And the more we believe in it. And he says it's a way to strengthening our memory, or I guess the mitzvah of Zecher Yetziat Mitzrayim. And then the Rambam, it's here. Now the Rambam gives also another interesting interpretation of this. The Rambam says that when a person does a mitzvah, you'll feel the real simcha, full simcha. But when a person holds himself back, he's missing out on that opportunity. And within the Tocha, in the 6th parsha, in the Tocha, the Rambam quotes the following pasuk. If I somewhere here. Right? So someone who chooses not to serve Hashem without simcha and like a full heart with all their potential, mirov kol, and is not using from their belongings, is missing out. You're missing out on that simcha. And the Rambam says a person who doesn't bring in Bikurim, they're missing out on that simcha. They're missing out from giving from their mirov kol. And he hold on a second. Where am I? Second. So he says, one second. So he says what's the purpose of giving this Bikurim to Hashem? What simcha are we feeling? By working on our fields, by growing our crops, by taking it, bringing it to Hashem, we're remembering, everything that happened before us, and that, everything we do, we have to remember is from Hashem. And we started with nothing, and now we have a lot. And that simcha is great. And that simcha only gets better if we follow it. And it's reminding us that, if you keep doing my laws, if you keep doing this, everything just gets better in life. It's only going to get better. You know, they say, Melin Bakodesh, Aim Meridian. You know, everything that, you know, you follow my laws will get better. And just to connect that right now, we are right now in the month of El. And as you all know, we're starting Yom Kippur and all the Chagim are coming up. And we're starting Yom Kippur, we know the davening's long and it won't be easy. And we should try to have, you know, the simcha that, you know, so hold on a second, I want to say this right. We should constantly remind ourselves that Hashem is with us, that everything we do, you know, Hashem is right behind us, guiding us in the right direction. He's helping us. And on Rosh Hashanah Kippur, we should try to have as much, you know, when we serve God, we should have as much simcha as we can. And as Rav Kalar would like to say, as much kochos as we could when we serve Him. And if we do that, hopefully we'll be able to experience the simcha space of Shreya on our bias in the days to come.
Amen. Thank you very much.